we saw in the last week what is Vedanta. So Vedanta is the end of Veda, or the summary of Veda. And we have four main Vedas, Yajurveda, Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, and Sama Veda. And then we have loads of Upanishads. So some of them are main 11 to 15 Upanishads, say Kathopanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and various Upanishads. And they give a lot of knowledge about the self, who you are, why you are here. So that's what is the summary we saw last week. And this week we're going to look into Antakarana. So Antakarana is not using a TV. If there were, maybe next week I'll get a pen and paper to write down. So Antakarana is do we have pen? No.
But good to note that.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we get the pen next time. So anyone knows what is Antakarana by any chance, or?
Karana is instrument.
Yeah.
Ant is inner instrument.
Yeah.
So it's your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. You bang on. Yeah. So we'll be looking into it. What is Antakarana? Just to give you information, today's whatever we're discussing is from Chandogya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Kathopanishad, and Mundaka Upanishad. So Mandikya and Mundaka is different, and also the commentaries of Adi Shankaracharya, who has summarized the Vedanta and Upanishad into some of his books. One of them is Viveka Chudamani. Great. Okay, so we usually begin with breath awareness. So if you're happy, if you're happy to remove your shoes, keep it aside, having your foot flat on the floor. And if you want to have your both hands on top of your thigh with palm facing the ceiling, or if you are holding a book, that's absolutely fine. Gently closing your eyes, gently observing your breath, the breath which is automatically going into your nostril and out through your nostril. Totally observe what is your breath telling you at this moment. It can be silly. It can be like, why am I here? It can be like, oh, what am I going to eat next? Or it can be like, oh, I'm feeling tired, or I'm feeling relaxed. Am I doing the right thing? Just observe your mind and the breath. Inviting to settle down your breath and having the awareness of your body. Having an intention of learning through understanding, and there's no judgmental or no analysis for now, taking the words as it is, just like the music coming in. And when you're ready, let's take a deep breath in through your nostril. Either breathe out through your nostril or sigh out through your mouth. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. We're going to do one more time. Let's take a deep breath in through your nostril. And breathe out either through your nostril or through your mouth, sigh out. As much possible, trying to keep your spine erect. We're going to chant 3 Om to begin the session. If you're happy, let's take a deep breath in. You can either chant or listen. Breathing in. Closed, feel the vibrations in your body, especially the lower part of the body, which is the Swadhisthana chakra or the Muladhara chakra, the Manipura chakra. These are some of the energy points in your lower part of the body, and the Akara affects the lower part of the body. And then gently taking attention to your heart region, your chest region. And the Ukara affects the middle part of the body. And then taking attention to your head region. The makara or the humkara affects the upper part of the body. Gently observe the vibration in each part of the body. In totally being with your breath, totally being with your mind, and observing all the senses. Are you taking all the senses inwards and following pratyahara? As your eyes are closed, you're taking your vision inside, inwards. You're smelling, the power of taste, power of scent, touch, and the hearing. Gently take all the senses inwards. Gently observe how do you feel right now, rubbing your palm, gently placing it on top of your eyes, gently opening your eyes. Welcome back. How are you feeling right now? Good? Relaxed? Yeah? Anyone wants to share anything from last week or any reflection if you did the practice? I mean, there's no obligation. It's I'm just checking if anyone.
I did have a realization. You know the 4-6 prayer.
Mm-hmm.
I went for a long walk on Sunday.
Okay.
And they asked me to do the breathing practice with them, so I did 4-6.
Okay.
And it's amazing how it resets your body.
Yeah.
It's like observing your feet, you know, like your feet walking and observing the ground beneath you. It just reset. And you felt like I was tired, and then I felt I was not tired.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. So the more you exhale, the more you feel your body is reset.
And also I'm practicing breathing while I'm walking. So you breathe in for 4 and then you breathe out for 4 as you're walking.
Good.
With my mouth closed, with my nose trying to, because when you breathe out through your mouth it's shallow and then you get tired.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But good that you're having awareness of your breath.
Yeah. Because I was just breathing here before.
Yeah.
Now it's here.
That is good. Which is good.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. This, I mean, breathing around your chest region is like shallow breathing.
Yeah.
You breathe in fully. So when you're breathing, which means your lung is going down, your diaphragm is moving your belly out. So which is really good. Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, it was really good. And they felt it as well. Some of them were saying, oh, this was so good.
Great.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. The more you elongate your exhalation, the better.
What is the reason we have to focus on heart and stomach? What does it mean?
So the one we did before in the beginning. So we have some of the energy points. So these are called the chakras. So it begins from the Muladhara chakra, then Swadhisthana chakra around genital region, and then the Manipura chakra around the navel region, and then the heart chakra around your chest region, your Vishuddhi chakra around your throat, the Agnya chakra in between the eyebrows, and Sahasrara chakra above your head. So when you take your attention to these points, if you have any blockages, if any, then it generally opens up. You become more expressive. For example, you take your attention to your throat region, your expression becomes more and more better. Just taking your breath and your attention to these energy points. And again, with the chanting of Om, we are distributing the vibration to each and every energy points in our body. I hope I could answer that.
That is when you purify that nadi region,
Yeah. They say we have around 72,000 nadis. These are like virtual naus which goes all around the body, and we purify it. When I say unblocking, which means similar. Yeah, nadis. And the chakras come together in these energy points, and they get purified, they get unblocked. Anything that you observed in the last week, like taking your awareness to your body, your mind, your breath?
When you do it in your own house, it's so different.
It is. You find all the sounds, distractions.
I would go off and do something else, and then after 2 minutes, and then go, okay, that wasn't even fun, and forget all about it, and then go back.
Yeah. there'll be a lot of distraction. And that's how the world works. Even if you go to a quiet room and try to be quiet, something or the other will come. There'll be a neighbor who will be mowing the grass suddenly. So yeah, you will have distraction, but still.
And when I added the belly breathing, that was really, I think the first couple of days I wasn't doing that.
Okay.
That was better, but I still struggle to reset, to get to the reset button.
It's good that you could practice one.
Yeah.
So that's good. Anything, David or Josh, if you want to share? Yeah. Okay. But we will have some reflection, like homework to do. Not really for you to do, but it's good to reflect on and see what is happening. So taking all these things and working out at your own time. Okay. That's good. Thanks for sharing. So, very similar to how we start. We start with a story. Yeah. Anyone ready for story? Yeah. So this is to answer David's question. Last week you answered what exactly is the self. Like we were going through the box of Atman or the Jivatma, and then the Atman, and then the Paramatma on the bottom right corner. And then we have the Brahman. So these are the four things in the box that we showed. And David was asking, what exactly is the self? And I was saying, sometimes even after a long time, you may not realize what is the self. So this is the story about Indra and Virochana from the Chandogya Upanishad in the 8th chapter. So Indra is the king of gods, and Virochana is the king of demons. So we call them Asura and the gods. So they both wanted to know some inner knowledge about their self. So they went in a long journey to meet a sage called Prajapati. Prajapati was a very kind and very knowledgeable sage, and whoever comes to him, to his hermitage, to his ashram, he would give the knowledge and make them humble. So Indra and Virochana, they went to Prajapati. And he said, I want the knowledge about the self, about the higher knowledge, the higher self. And Prajapati said, yeah, you can stay in our ashram, in our hermitage. You'll have to wait for 32 years. So Indra and Virochana, they both meditated. They interacted with the other students who were in the ashram, and 32 years just went. It just passed away just like that. And then they both came to Prajapati, the sage Prajapati, and asked, now tell me the truth. What is it? What is self? What is that which is the higher self? What is the actual truth? What is the knowledge about truth? So Prajapati took them to a pond or lake. I don't know what it was. Definitely not a river because they wanted a still water. So Prajapati took both of them and said, look at the water, the reflection. Whatever you see in the water, the reflection, that is the self. So Virochana was very excited. He saw himself. He was the king of Asura. So you can imagine he had like muscle and he was very strong. He saw the reflection of him, and then he was like he was waiting for 32 years. It's a long period. It's not so easy to stay in the ashram for 32 years. And he was excited. Oh, I got to know. I see myself in the water. This is me. This is the self. So he took the physical body as the self, and he went back. He was happy with the answer because he had waited for 32 years. So he went back to the kingdom of demon, and he started preaching. Look, this is the self. I am the self, and this is what he understood. But Indra as well was leaving the ashram, but half the way he thought, no, if this is the self, this self fades away. It goes through age, old age, disease, and various things. How can this be the self? So he went back to Prajapati. He was very intelligent and asked him, Prajapati, no, I don't totally get this. I don't think this is the self. What I saw in the river, in the pond, I don't think this is the self. Do you want me to give more knowledge? Then Prajapati said, you will have to wait for 32 more years for that. So he waited for 32 more years. He meditated, he studied with other students. And then after 32 years he came to Prajapati. Now it is time for you to give me the knowledge. And then he said, the one who dreams, one who is dreaming, that is the self. Okay, fine. So Indira then went back and he was thinking, okay, I dream, I see myself. Sometimes he's already a king. I'm very wealthy. Sometimes I'm like a beggar. Sometimes I don't have anything. Sometimes I have lots of followers, many things. This is not right. There is no balance. So how can it be there is a change? Sometimes I'm very happy, sometimes I'm sad in the dream. This cannot be the self. So he went back again to Prajapati and he said, no, I don't think what I understood is right. Do you want me to give me more knowledge? So he said, yes, you have to wait for 32 more years for you to understand. So he meditated, he studied again lots of scriptures, and then the 32 years passed just like anything. And then he came to Prajapati and asked, now are you ready to give me the knowledge? Then he said, what is that he said? So one was the awakened state, which we can see physically. Like for example, if I see this is Kalpana, this is Payal, this is Shalini. So you can physically see the physical body. And then the dreaming state. Right? So when you sleep, you will go through lots of dreams and you will think about it. And then you have the sleeping state. Right? So Prajapati said, the one who is sleeping, the one who is in the deep sleep, that is the self. So Indra went again and he tried to understand. The one who is sleeping, is this right? But when I am sleeping, when I am in deep sleep, I don't know who am I. Is this right? So Indra was not convinced again. He went back to Prajapati and asked, what is that? I don't get it. Then Prajapati said, there is something higher than you, the self which is not changing at any point of time. That is the real truth. So he gave a bit of understanding of who you really are. And he waited for almost 113 years or so for getting this knowledge about the self. So the thing is, you need to have patience and you have to inquire. This is the essence of the story. And you will get to know about the self which is always joyful and peaceful. Right? So this is from the Chandogya Upanishad. But we will look more into it at a later stage of time. Any questions on that, or anything clear or not clear? Yes? Good. Okay. Maybe you're confused or you're clear, one of them. Okay, so we go into the actual topic for today, which is the Antakarana. As Indraji mentioned, Karana is the instrument and Anta is the inner thing. Yeah? So there are 4 parts of Antakarana. So in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we have one of the sutra. We have around 195 sutras. One of them is Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. So yoga is not just about doing asana, not just about doing breathing, not just about meditating, but It is about taking care of the 4 parts of chitta that we're going to look into. So the 4 parts of chitta, or the exact sutra is stilling the fluctuation of these 4 parts of the mind. That's the exact translation of the sutra. Yogas chitta vriddhi nirodha. Right? So the chitta has 4 parts. If you anyone of you remember from the intro talk, he said.
Chitta is body.
Chitta is the 4 parts of the mind, or the antakarana. So one of them is manas, what we call the mind in English. Literally, the manas is the mind, and it's about thinking. It keeps thinking, and is I think Hilbert's Libet's experiment and Hilbert's principle. So if you look at the theory, he would mention this was in 1983. So even before the thoughts that arise, if you observe your mind, your thoughts is always seeding. There is a thought coming up again and again and again, and you don't know where this thought comes from. So these thoughts, even before it comes, there is some process that happens for willpower. So this is what is in the Hilbert theory. And what I'm coming to is, there is always thoughts coming up in your mind. It can be thought that you want to, simple thoughts that what you're going to have dinner. There could be simple thoughts like this, or it can be complicated thoughts of how am I going to solve the world peace? How am I going to come up with mental health for someone? How am I going to do this and that? It can be very simple or very complex. But if you can observe in your mind, the thoughts keep evolving. It's like a seed, right? So this is the first part of the chitta, which is the manas. It's about thinking and doubting in your mind, right? Any questions on that? Okay. The second part is the buddhi, or the intellect. So it's about the intelligence level. So you keep thinking or judging, is this right for me? Am I doing the right thing? Right? So all these questions, you're always judging in your mind. So that is the intellect, or the buddhi. And then comes the ahankara. The ahankara is all about the I. I am doing this, I am doing that. I am the one, because of me this is happening. The ego, about yourself. It is because of me that my home is running. It is because of me my kid has grown up and he's so knowledgeable. It is because of me that this company is running, or this team is running. So you have this ego in you, which is good in a way. But these are the parts of the chitta, part of the antakarana. And then comes the chitta itself, which is the memory, or the emotional storage. So as I mentioned before, we have terabytes and petabytes of memory in our mind, or in the brain, to be specific. So the mind is all over the body, but the brain has lots and lots of storage capacity. So we store many things, and as I mentioned before, like any sounds or any vision, so from this 5 senses, whatever happens, even the touch, like for example, if I come and touch like this, even with your eyes closed, those are stored in your chitta. Or if any traffic or any accident happens outside, it's just outside, and you hear that sound, that is stored in your brain, in your chitta. So these are the things which get stored. And why do we need to know about antakarana? Why do we need to know about chitta? Is we have something called stress. Stress arises, and it arises because of these parts of chitta. So as we saw in the intro talk, it's about reducing the stress and understanding your mind. Only then you will be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Again, it's not about you achieving it, it's about how to be relaxed. Right? So This comes from the Vedanta Sara of Sadananda and the Shankaracharya's commentaries. We will just see examples of some of the things. If you want to share, anyone wants to share like anything about the mind, about what I mentioned, like thinking and doubting of the mind. Do you agree that this part of the chitta exists in us? Yeah. So it's about always thinking, and there is a thought process seeding. Boop. It keeps coming up. The seed keeps coming up. There's different thoughts coming up. So, anything about the buddhi or the intellect and the discrimination. So you keep judging, isn't it? So, any example that you want to keep? Or you want me to give some example?
Yeah, can you give some? Because I don't understand how this buddhi. I understand knowledge.
Yeah.
Knowledge we gain from a child to the whichever stage you're at.
Yeah.
So everything you've learned, and you've made mistakes, you learn from that.
Yeah.
So even if you're always learning, you keep making mistakes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You keep making mistakes, even if you do the same thing, you still make a mistake.
Yeah. That's okay. It's good to make mistakes. That's how you learn it. But it's about what is buddhi. Buddhi is something that you keep judging. Like, for example, you doing some work. If I can pick someone, what is your profession, Paiji, if I can ask?
I'm a biomedical scientist.
Biomedical scientist. So when you go to your lab, isn't it? So is there any day, again, I'm taking your permission to ask, have you thought, why am I doing this? Yeah. Sometimes, right? It happens because your mind is constantly in a change and is judging. But sometimes you feel like, I feel proud. I achieved something and then I feel proud about it. Yes? So
Yes.
this keeps happening. So it's about judging. Or if, for example, you want to achieve something. Say, for example, it's a run. You're going to do a charity run or going up above the stairs, like 3,000, 4,000 stairs, which I did one time. You go 2,000 stairs up, and then you're like, why did I take this up? So you keep judging because you're putting yourself in a bit of uncomfortable position. It can be work, it can be physical thing. So you start judging. So it's about that point. Now, this could have happened like 5-6 years back. Now I don't have that thought process. So what I'm trying to tell you is that it is just that particular time that the judgment will arise and then it dissolves. So it is always a change. So the 4 parts of mind, it keeps changing, but there is something which doesn't change, and that is what I'm telling is the self, right? When you give more emphasis to these 4 parts of chitta, that is when the stress occurs. For example,
you said when the self doesn't change, so the self, how I understand it, is yourself going through different phases of life.
That could be your body.
Yeah, aging and
Yeah.
your body changing.
Yeah. So if you remember the last week we did some exercise, we had awareness of our physical body. Right? So if I see a picture of you 10 years back, you will look different. Definitely. Yeah. Same with everyone. If I take a picture of someone like David or Josh 20 years back, you will definitely look different. So it goes through the change. The mind as well, like now you might be doing something like profession or something like you become mother, you become grandmother. Those things are changing. Your mind is changing, like you do something different to what you did 10 years back, 20 years back, right? So this is what I'm trying to make you understand from the story of Indra and Virochana. So Virochana, as you can see, he saw himself, his physical body, and thought that is the self.
At that point, because he hadn't seen himself previously.
Sorry?
At that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, absolutely. But they might have not realized that. But what I'm saying is, they thought that the physical body is the self, which keeps changing. It is not the self. The physical body is not the self. Right? Any questions on that? Or is it too much going above that? Just remember that something which changes is not the self. It is just temporary. Like, for example, your body is just like a cloth. It is just there to do some activity. If you think it is for this lifetime, it's about achieving that I need to take care of my daughter. This is my achievement. And this is what this cloth is going to achieve. Fine, well and good. No one is saying right or wrong. Yeah? So the self is beyond the body, beyond the mind. So the mind, you saw there are 4 things. So the mind keeps changing. Your thoughts keep changing. Your thinking 10 years back was different. You might have been thinking that, I want to be a software engineer. I want to join a company as a software engineer. But after 10 years, you're like, I want to be a director of this particular department. So it changes. Your mind changes. It keeps changing. But there is something that doesn't change. That is yourself, which has been there from the birth. It will be there until your death. That won't change. And even after the death, if you believe in reincarnation and stuff. Yeah? Yes, David.
Would you say the self is it's an observer?
An observer, absolutely. Yeah. You're right. This self is just observing, witnessing what is happening around the world. It's a good one. Any continuity of questions on that?
Just I guess if it's an observer, then obviously it doesn't age. Like,
Doesn't age. Absolutely.
But surely does it get more, what's the word? Does it change because of all the knowledge? Like it's observing, or it doesn't absorb the knowledge?
The knowledge is just one thing. It is just one word. It's truth. The knowledge doesn't change, so the self doesn't change. Yeah. So the truth is, you are joy, you are peace. As I mentioned in the last time, does anyone want sadness? Does anyone wants to be angry? Does anyone wants to be crying and feeling agitated? No. The self is always joyful. That is the truth. You ask anyone in this world, ask millions and billions of people, they will say the same thing. What do you want? If I ask, what do you want?
Happiness.
Happiness. If I ask the same to someone in India, he will say the same question, same answer. What do you want?
Isn't happiness just an emotion though?
It is bliss. It is the self. The self is joyful, peaceful. Of course, it is not simple. I can just say in one word that the self is truth and self is bliss, self is peace. But to justify and to prove practically, this is why I'm giving you all this knowledge from the Upanishad and the Vedas and Vedantas. Otherwise, I would just say, look, David, self is always joyful, self is peaceful, done, class is done, you can go. Right? It's not that easy, because this mind is very, very intelligent. It will question you. Why? How? What? What is this stupid fellow telling me? I don't agree with him. But you will definitely agree with me that you always want happiness. And the whole billions and billions of people want happiness. They want to be peaceful. you earn money, you want kids to be peaceful, right? So that is the reason we are going through all these things. And it is not simple. You just go to some mountain, you just sit down in any cross-legged position, you meditate and you feel bliss and joy. That's not Vedanta telling you. It's about how are you going to be peaceful and joyful in the chaos of people around you, right? And when I say people, it includes you. When you step out of this room, you go to your house, some incident happened. Say, for example, your kid. You have a kid, for example, and she drops a glass and it breaks, right? Like, why did you do it? Your peace is lost. It's not that simple, right? So, I hope I answered you. If I'm not, we will be looking into it through all this knowledge. But just to let you know, the self doesn't change. As you mentioned, the self, it's a witness. He is witnessing, or he or she. There's no gender for the self. It's just witnessing. What are you doing? That's it. So with that practice, what I mentioned, having the awareness of your physical body, having the awareness of your mind, having the awareness of your breath, having awareness of your emotion. So just try the practice. It won't fade away. Every time you do it, the practice of having awareness at different layers of your body, you will get to know something. Right? Okay, with that, we move forward with your permission. Yeah? Good? Okay, so we're going to look into what we discussed in the intro talk. One is we have two types of mind, because the chitta has 4 parts. You have the reactive mind and you have the observing mind. I think Shalini ji didn't see the intro talk. I will send you the video to you so that you can have a look. So this is from the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and the Kathopanishad. So if you see, if you take an event, and we have discussed this last 2 weeks back, when there is some event happens and if you react, for example, you're going in the car and there is a traffic, you are in a hurry, there's someone who's going very slowly, following all the rules and regulation, but you are in a hurry, it's just 2 minutes and your meeting is going to start, you are in a hurry. Like, usually we don't honk here, but sometimes we do honk. And they say, go, be in 30 speed, not 20 speed. So this is about reactive mind. You react unconsciously. You're not doing this purposefully. It's just happening because of some of the events that is going to happen in the future. You're being anxious. Or there is some event that has happened. Say, for example, this classical example of you were in office, your boss said something to you, some deadline or something, you carry that pressure, you go home. So this is about being in the past. You go home, you're not in the present, you are still stuck in the past. There is some trauma in some of the energy points in you, and that trauma is making you feel agitated. And so you feel reactive, you become reactive. So you need to be observing. So that is what we will be looking into. So either it is in the past, the mind, if you are reactive, or it is in the future, being anxious. Say for example, there is something, you did some mistake and you are going to hide it. So you're thinking, oh, this person is going to punish me, or he's going to treat me in a bad way. So you're being anxious, right? So you are either stuck in the past, or you're thinking what is going to happen in the future. That is when your mind becomes reactive. Right? So if you are happy to, if you want to have your eyes closed, having your foot flat on the floor, just want you to do the exercise if you're happy. Right? So, and this is different for everyone. And if you're happy, at your own time, gently take attention to some event that has happened to you to make you reactive. It can be 5 minutes back, or half an hour back, or 30 years back. Just take an incident in your mind where you were reactive. It can be in a good way, or it may not be in a good way. Say, for example, someone did something, some mistake, and you wanted to scold him or her. Or you did a mistake, and you think someone is going to scold you, or someone is going to treat you bad. Observe, and recollect that moment, that event where your mind was reactive. It was trying to be reactive. Totally observe that event, whatever happened in the past, if you're happy to. How was your mind at that time? Were you in the past? When I say the past, when this event happened, the past from that particular event that happened. Or were you in the future being anxious? If you're still with me, if you're understanding what I'm trying to convey to you, recollecting an event where your mind was reactive, where you were like scolding someone, or you were afraid that someone is going to treat you bad, or treat you being angry with you. How was your mind? How did you react? How did your mind react? It may not be physically, but you were probably hiding something, telling lie, being untruthful to you, being not honest to you. Or maybe you're physically doing something like yelling at them, being angry at someone. Recollect that moment. How did your mind feel with this reaction? How was your emotion? And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes with a blink. Going back. Does anyone want to share, if you're happy to share, any incident that you recollected and you were reactive? If I can ask you. Yes, Dave.
So it's a really small one. I was out with my sister, I think last night, and whenever we sit next to each other or like opposite each other, she always kicks me like, accidentally under the table, and like it just came to my head, and like I always feel like I'm overreacting to such a small thing.
Yeah.
So I think my mind is in the at that moment it's in the past. And it's like it's thinking about all the times that she's done this to me, like in the past, and it just reacts for no reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did she kick yesterday, or was it like long?
Yeah, no, yesterday.
And how did your mind react when she was kicking you?
It was just like angry, very
Angry.
quickly. Yeah, and like snappy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like it's like the mind is coming from a place that's been in the past. Like it's thinking about old scars, about like how maybe she's treated me in the past. So it's not the kick.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's like things that she's done maybe in the past, or my mind thinks that she's done, and it just like manifests into something very small.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the part of the chitta, as I mentioned, so it stores lots of memory in you. So whatever the person might have done in the past, intentionally or unintentionally, that comes again. But specifically with this, like, if I have to ask, did you scold her, or did you say something, stop doing it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's my sister, she felt like...
yeah, absolutely. But was that...
annoying.
Yeah, it was annoying, right? You didn't do consciously, you were not thinking, you didn't have to think, it just happens autonomously. Yeah?
Yeah.
So this is about the reactive mind. I mean, this is just Again, I don't know whether I can say this as a simple example.
Yeah, it's a really simple example.
Yeah, really simple example. So your mind doesn't need to think or it doesn't need to plan. It happens automatically. It is autonomous, and you will suddenly say, "Hey, stop!" Right?
But is that because I'm not in a good mood, or it's like?
It is.
Why is the mind choosing at one moment to not let it bother you? It's like whatever.
Yeah.
And then at another moment it makes you angry and snap.
Yeah. So it's about training your mind how to react or not to react. It's about observing. So this is where we are coming to the second part of the mind, which is being conscious. Like, why did they do it? So your sister, taking the same example, she might be doing accidentally, right? She's not doing intentionally.
Of course. No.
Yeah, she's not doing intentionally. Maybe she's having a pain in her pelvic region or hip region. So she's just trying to stretch her leg, and it touched. I'm just giving some example. Doesn't mean this is the exact thing. Or maybe someone was walking behind and she did this. And so if again, I mean, these are some of the ways of thinking, how the mind can think. You'll have to think like, oh, she didn't do intentionally. It's just because she wanted to give way behind, or she was having a pain and she wanted to stretch the leg. So thinking, why did this happen consciously? And then reacting, sister, do you want some space? Do you want to move? Do you want me to move forward? So this is the way how we need to be training our mind, observing, and then maybe checking with your sister, what really happened? Maybe. Again, this is just a simple example, but there can be very, very complex things. Maybe at work or maybe in your family. And these small things, as you mentioned, like it might have built up from long years, can affect you in a later stage of time. So it's about being conscious of what is happening around you. And I gave one of the example of when a dad comes home and the kids would sometimes be understanding, my dad went through a bad day, maybe in office, so he's yelling, he's being angry, he's shouting. So these are some of the things. Any other thing that anyone wants to share? You're reacting by Shalini and Faiz will be very silent. Did you get what I try to do the exercise? And is there anything that you recollected by any chance, if you want to share?
It depends on situations. Like, for example, I'm working in the lab, so sometimes the people collect the whole blood to gather some samples, and sometimes happen to spillage. Not like
spillage.
So sometimes it's coming on your hand, so like some of the circumstances we have to follow the rule. So we can't blame some people because they are not intentionally spillage or things.
They don't do it intentionally.
So kind of the things. So it depends like how we react and how we deploy that. And sometimes most of the time not intentionally.
Most of the time it's not intentional. That is absolutely. But how does your mind react to it? When you see that.
Sometimes how it's happened, like our mind is working like so many thoughts. If it is a spillage, then the patient are waiting for the result. How it's happened is you have to care for that things. So that kind of the negative thoughts come up because one side of we are thinking about the patient result, and sometimes like this is the accidentally happens.
Absolutely. So it's about. I'm asking you again the same questions of how your mind reacted. So you were angry,
angry,
agitated, and this again you
sometimes
didn't plan.
Your mind accepted. Okay, they are not intentionally, but sometimes every things like feel like behave the different way.
So being conscious is asking them, do you need more training or more do you need any support? So it's about, rather than getting The patient is waiting for the result.
That's true.
You're not supposed to spill. 2, do you need any help?
Exactly.
So it's about how. These are. I'm not saying how. I'm saying what. What is happening in your mind is what I'm trying to make you observe. Just like you mentioned, the self is the observer. He's witnessing, or he or she is witnessing. Yeah.
Instead of, I must say that reacting and shouting, so or making anxious oneself, one should think twice, like responding, not reacting.
Absolutely.
So that will make the person cool, and then you'll be able to explain the things in a better way instead of shouting.
Exactly. So this is what I'm trying to explain. So there's 2 minds. One is the reactive mind, and one is the conscious mind. How to train? We will look into it. But for now, I want you to realize what is happening in your mind and how are we supposed to be. Because if you take like Kalpana, she could possibly be your colleague. Right? You never know. Right? Yeah? Maybe this lifetime or next lifetime. You never know. What I mean to say is we are all the same.
Yeah.
Right? I might have been in your position. I might be in your lab doing what you are doing, Payal is doing. The same job I might have been doing, but I am here. I am doing something else. So, I am you. You are me. This is how we take. This happens when you look at a bigger picture of the ocean, what I mentioned last week. So last week we mentioned that we looked at 4 concepts. One is the Jivatma, the Atman, the Brahman, and the Paramatma. So the Brahman is like the ocean. Right? So if I pick one glass of water from the ocean, that is, say for example you, I pick another glass of water, so that is probably Payal or Shanti. At one point, you could be the same. It is the same glass of water, right? So having a bigger picture and thinking, having a compassion, we look into few things of how you need to be. So compassion is one thing that will help you to be having a conscious mind, thinking that in English, in plain English, they say, put yourself in the other person's shoe. Right? So this is how you become, you have a conscious mind rather than having a reactive mind. Consciously thinking, what is the other person going through? Is he doing intentionally? Is it just happening? So when these kind of events happen, if you do not want a stress, rather than being in a reactive mind, be in a conscious mind. But how? We will look into it. For now, we're just realizing these 2 things. This is from the Kathopanishad and the Yoga Sutra, as I mentioned. Let's see, how are we with the time? Great, okay. So now, you looked in the video. So it was about the story of Nachiketa. He's looking. Again, it's not just about Nachiketa. There are various sages who have seen this. That a person, he gets lots of wealth, yet he is unhappy. Some person would say, if I get a job, I will be happy. Then they start doing the job. Oh my God, today was a stressful day. Don't ask me. This is what the answer I have heard personally. I have said this as well in the past. So I'm the same. I'm like you. There's no difference. But what I'm trying to say is, we are looking into why the mind is never fully satisfied. Just like how you saw in the story of Nachiketa, he saw people were successful. They were kings. They were, because this is an olden story, so they were kings. There were so many of them who were successful, yet they were not happy. You just take example of Elon Musk, because I want to be practical. I don't want to go to the king and queen stage. I don't know whether you would agree with me or not. He's one of the richest person in the whole world. Anyone who does not agree?
Yeah, because he sleeps on French sofas, he doesn't own a house.
He's the richest person in the world, and you can see in his YouTube, he has confessed that he goes through stress, lot of stress. Elon Musk.
But he's got a purpose, he wants to find another planet where we can live. If
Yeah.
something happens here, we can go somewhere else.
No, but he has so many things, but he's still not happy. He's going through stress. Take Steve Jobs. Apple is one of the best product ever, not just in mobile phone. You take any product like cars or anything in this whole world, Apple has a very, very significant brand value. And Steve Jobs had gone through a lot of stress. Yeah. So what I'm trying to recollect, what I'm trying to emphasize is right from how do I put it in a good way? Even the smallest of the smallest job to the biggest of the biggest CEO or anyone in this world, even if they are successful, say for example they get a job, they get this much shares, they get this much money, they're still not happy. And this is the question of why. Why the mind is never ever satisfied. And we have desires. You fulfill one desire, the other desire comes. To take a simple example, you eat a dish. It is your favorite dish. I don't know whether I should bring the spicy chicken again. You eat it. You are like, I should have a dessert. There is always a desire. We call it craving or trishna to be specific, and it is mentioned in the Kathopanishad. And it is about the prayas and shayas. So what is prayas and shayas? It's connected to the desires and the trishna, what I mentioned, the cravings. So our mind always is in a constant change and jumping from one desire to another desire. For example, Elon Musk, I don't know how what business he started, but now it's about the electric cars now, and then it is about going to the space with X-Space, right? Same with Apple. Apple started with iPods, they then went into, they started with MacBook, not MacBook, but Mac, iMac. And from there they went into iPod and then into iPhones and stuff like that. So there is always this desire to do something, own something, a craving to acquire something. So this is where we need to follow the Patanjali Yoga Sutra of Yama and Niyama. So yama is about what you're not supposed to do. For example, ahimsa. You're not supposed to cause you're not supposed to cause violence. It can be in whatever way you can. It can be like becoming vegan, or not having meat, or not thinking. So ahimsa doesn't mean, non-violence doesn't mean physically. It also means in the thoughts. Even in the thoughts, not having any violence in your mind. Right? So this is one of the yama, and then there are various other yamas, and then the niyamas of, for example, if you drive, you need to follow all the laws. If you break the law, you pay the fine, or your points get detected. So I'm just giving you practical example. This is not what I'm meant to say. I'm saying that you need to follow the niyama, the dharma, what we call, so that you are at peace. You're not doing this for others. You're doing this for your own sake, so that there is no desires that come. And the other one is the aparigraha. You're not supposed to collect too many things. I want this necklace. I want this thing from Temu. I want this from this Amazon. I want this from. You keep collecting things, and you see your home. It's all filled with so many things. I'm not saying I'm not doing this. I am doing this as well because I am part of you. The mind is always into a constant craving. Right? So, is there any example that you want to share that you have lots of desires and it's never ending? Anyone wants to share any experience? No, I better not share. I have it. I want to have, in the intro talk we discussed, Joel, I want to have, in an island, I want to have a beautiful family. And I'm just giving some examples. There's always these desires and cravings. Once you have it, say, for example, you have an island, you have a beautiful wife, you have a beautiful family.
Then you want another beautiful wife. Another beautiful wife.
I didn't mean another beautiful wife. But you need to maintain, right? You need to have money. Then you think, I need to have a job, or I need to go hunting, or something like that. Great. Okay. So we are touching upon the craving or the trishna and continuously seeking and having the desires. Right? So we'll look into the prayers and shayas and things like that. So, okay, we've been sitting down for a while. Why don't we do some movements? So, if you're happy, gently coming into a standing. We're going to do the similar to what we did last time. Again, be mindful of the chair around you. If you want to use a yoga mat, feel free to use a yoga mat. Otherwise, you don't really need a yoga mat for today. Just being mindful of spectacles and removing your shoes. Having your both hands on top of your hip. Now we're going to do the neck movement. So as you breathe in, gently raise your head up, looking towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, try to get your chin towards the chest and observe the stretch in the back of your neck. Breathing in, gently raise your head up. Very gently, no rapid movement. Breathing in, raising your head up, and continue at your own pace. Breathing out, gently getting your chin towards the chest. The slower you do, the better it is for you. And continue at your own pace, no need to wait for my instruction. Continue with your breath and having awareness of the neck. If you're breathing in, looking at the front of your neck. So we have lots of glands like thyroid gland. You have the glottis and various things around your throat region. And as you breathe out, you observe the stretch in the back of your neck. You have loads of nerves connecting from the spine to the brain. Observe the stretch happening in the back of your neck. Quickly having awareness of your body and synchronizing with your breath. Taking attention to where the movement is happening. This is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Harmonizing your body and the mind. The next time you breathe out and get your neck towards the chest, do the neck rotation. Breathing in, trying to get your ears to the right shoulder, right ear to the right shoulder, and back. And as you breathe out, your left ear onto the left shoulder and gently coming down. Continue at your own pace, breathing in to the right. Rotating your neck in a clockwise direction. Having a gentle smile. You don't need to be angry, you don't need to be frowning face. So having a gentle smile on your face and take attention to where the stretch is happening. So if you go to the right, feel the stretch on the left side of your neck. If you go to the right, feel the stretch on the right side of the neck. Feel the calmness in you. Continue at your own pace, breathing in for one half and breathing out for the other half. Good. Continue at your own pace. The next time you get your chin towards the chest, reverse the direction. Breathing in, going on to your left side, into your back. As you breathe out, onto your right side, and gently coming down. Totally being with your breath. Taking attention to where the movement is happening. Good. The next time you breathe out and get your chin towards the chest, breathing in, raise your head up, getting your chin parallel to the ground. Very good. Are we good? Any sensation around your neck? Did you have a good awareness to your neck region? Great. From here, we're going to do the shoulder rotation, making a cup with your hand, gently placing it on top of your shoulder. As you breathe in, get your elbow towards the ground as much possible, trying to touch your elbow, your biceps closer towards the ears, and as you breathe out, squeezing your shoulder blades and gently coming down. Continue at your own pace, breathing in for one half, and breathing out for the other half. If there is any pain or sensation, reduce the range of movement. You do not need to go to the fullest. Listen to your body. Honor your body. Say Sthiram, Sukham, Asanam. Being steady and comfortable in your posture. And coordinating your breath with the moment. Breathing in for one half. And breathing out for the other half. Continue for one last time if you're happy. Again, still having a gentle smile on your face. You don't need to be having a frowning face. And then the next time you breathe in, going backwards, squeezing your shoulder blades, getting your elbow towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, gently come down, getting your elbow towards the ground. Continue at your own pace. Observe what is happening around your shoulder joints, your shoulder blades. Observe all the nerves connecting, totally being with your breath, being with your body, and having awareness of your body, taking attention to where the movement is happening around your shoulder blades and your shoulder joint. Is your shoulder saying, "Oh, did you remember me today?" Is there any sensation around your shoulders? Just observe, how do you feel? And the next time, breathe in. Relax your hands beside your body. Right? How are you feeling? Your shoulder is thanking you, yeah? Great. We're going to do some of the twists. So breathing in, raise your both hand up straight towards the ceiling. And as you breathe out, your opposite hand goes to the opposite shoulder and curl your hand behind your hip region. Look towards your right shoulder, one of the shoulder. Breathe in, gently raise your both hand up. And again, giving good circulation to your lymph. And as you breathe out, twisting to the other side. Yeah, looking towards the left shoulder, one of the shoulder. Continue for 3 to 4 times, breathing in and breathing out into the right shoulder. Feel the stretch in your spine, your abdomen, and your hip region. Do it very gently. Do not overdo. Listening to your body. Do as much as your body allows. But again, giving 100%. Having total awareness to where the movement is happening, around your hip region, around your hands and your shoulders. Totally having a body awareness. I can give you lots of slokas from the Taittiriya Upanishad, but it's about we are harmonizing our body and mind and the breath. So observe as you're breathing in and as you breathe out. How is the thoughts in your mind? Is there less thoughts, more thoughts? Totally having awareness of your body, your mind, and your breath. Right? Are you okay, David? Okay. And when you're ready, once you finish on the left side, breathing in, raise your both hand up. As you breathe out, relax your hands. Okay, great. For this one, you need some space in front of you, just being mindful of the space in front of you. As you breathe in, you raise your both hand up, slightly arch back. As you breathe out, reach the wall in front of you and gently come down. Reach wherever you can. It could be your thighs, your knees, or shin, or the toes. Keeping your spine erect as much possible. Breathing in, raise your both hand up straight towards the ceiling. Slightly arch back. If there is any back pain, you can take support of your hands behind your hip. As you breathe out, gently reach the wall in front of you and gently come down and reach wherever you can. And observe your spine, trying not to give too much pressure on your lower back. Breathing in, gently rise up. Slightly arch back And as you breathe out, one last time, gently coming down, reaching wherever you can, and staying here for a while, for maybe 2 to 3 breaths. If you want to interlock your opposite elbows, feel free to do so. Or if you want to dangle like a rug doll, free to do so. Or if you want to let go of your hands and hang, let the gravity do most of the pull. You pull your body towards the ground. So how do you feel? And having your palms on the leg, wherever it is, maybe shin or knees, and gently rub your palms against your leg. Let your head be the last thing to come up. And gently having your hands beside your body, with your eyes closed, observe your whole body, right from the toes, your leg, your shin, your knees, your thighs, your stomach, your chest, your whole face region, top of your head, your right shoulder, your left shoulder. Observe your whole body. And then observe your mind. Are there any thoughts in your mind? If there are any thoughts, accept the thoughts. Embrace them. Be one with your thoughts. Gently take attention to your breath, the breath which is always in the present moment. Observe the breath going in through your nostril and out through your nostril. How is your breath right now? How is the thoughts in your mind? How is your whole body? And when you're ready, gently sit down on the chair very comfortably. You're going to practice the Brahmari Pranayama to settle down your mind. So if you're ready, we're going to practice the Shanmukhi Mudra. So this is again from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra of taking your senses inwards. As I mentioned, we have the 5 senses, and in the scriptures there are actually 10 senses. In plain English, it is just the 5 senses. But we have other 5 things, which are the excretion, the reproduction, and other 3 things. So initially getting all these 5 senses inwards, so you use your thumb to close the flap of your ears, which is for your hearing. We use the first 2 fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, above your eyes and below your eyes. This is for your vision. You close your middle finger with the nose, below your nose. This is for the smell. And you close, have your thumb finger, the pinky finger, below your lips. So this is called the Shanmukhi Mudra. So the next time you breathe in, and as you breathe out, we're going to make a bumblebee sound. Taking all your senses inwards, we're going to practice for 4 more times. Take a deep breath in at your own pace. Taking deep breath in, observe the vibration in your head region, and as you breathe out, taking a deep breath in through your nostril, and as you breathe out, one last time, taking deep breath in, as you breathe out, having your both hands on top of your thigh with palm facing the ceiling, with your eyes closed, observe the vibration in your head region. So Brahmari is the bumblebee sound. It calms down your nervous system. Again, if we have to look at the various nervous system, we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the left side, or the Ida Nadi, the cooling side or the resting side. We have the sympathetic nervous system, which is on the right side, or the Pingala Nadi, which is always like active, restless sometimes. You have the central nervous system, which is balancing both of these things, which is the Sushumna Nadi, where most of the nadis meet, and the chakra, we call it the different energy points, the chakras. So totally observing the vibrations of your body and the calming effect of the vibrations caused by practicing Brahmari, either with your eyes closed, preferably, or eyes open. How do you feel in your mind? Is there less thoughts in your mind? In recollecting whatever we learned about the Antakarana, the 4 parts of the Chitta, the Manas, the Buddhi, the Ahankara, the Chitta, and then the reactive and the conscious mind. And then recollecting why the mind is never fully satisfied of thinking about Trishna, or the desires, which is evoking, jumping from one desire to another desire. Totally being in the present moment by gently taking attention to your breath. The Brahmari is from Hatha Yoga Pratipika, specifically from the chapter 2. Totally feeling the calmness within you. Totally feeling the peace within you. Totally feeling the joy within you. Totally being with your breath. We're going to practice a seated breathing and witnessing meditation, if you're happy. Gently observe the thoughts in your mind. It can be different for different person. Observe the thoughts that is arising in your mind. And very gently labeling the thoughts. Maybe labeling with numbers. Or maybe labeling a good thought, not so good thought. Add a label to each and every thoughts in your mind that is arising. Observe whether the thoughts are repetitive or there are new thoughts arising in your mind. Whatever is the case, label each and every thoughts in your mind in whatever system you want to, maybe numbering, or maybe saying this is pleasureful thought, this is a non-pleasureful thought, this thought is making me happy, this thought is making me sad, this thought is making me angry, this thought is making me relaxed. I'm going to be quiet for 2 minutes or so. Gently label any thoughts that is arising in your mind. And if your mind is wandering, take your attention to your breath, the breath which is inevitable and always in the present moment. Still physically and mentally being in this room. And labeling each and every thought. And if your mind is wandering, bringing attention back to your breath. collecting and labeling any thoughts in your mind. Observe whether they are repetitive thoughts or is there any new thoughts arising. Label each and every thoughts in whatever system you want to. Very gently witnessing the self which is observing the thoughts. Is there someone observing the thoughts? Is it your body? Is it your mind? Because the mind is part of the thoughts, but someone else is observing the thoughts. Notice who is observing these thoughts. Witnessing the self within each and every one of you. If there is any emotions, let go of any emotions from your body. In labeling the thoughts in your mind and returning to the breath. When you're ready, gently rubbing your palms, bringing attention back to your body. And gently being mindful of any spectacles and placing it on top of your eyes. Welcome back. Open your eyes, please. What do you feel right now? Can you observe, did you manage to observe the thoughts and label the thoughts? Yeah? How many of us are here? If you want to make a pair, sit in a group, maybe a group of 2 or group of 3, we're just going to discuss what happened. There's nothing, even if it's silly, that's absolutely fine. You're just sharing what happened within you. If you're happy, make a group. Maybe sit in 2s or 3s, specifically the one who you do not know. So if you know them, then it is very easy. You will start saying, you already know, right? So make a group, maybe a group of 2 or group of 3. It's about, so just a second, so it's about what did you label your thoughts? Was it repetitive or was it the same thoughts which was arising? You don't need to specifically say what thought was it if you observe. Yeah. If you have any questions, ask me, but I will come around.
I felt cold on my back. It would be the end of the spine. Yeah. All the way from the here all the way to the down. I've never had it before. I thought it was going to my work when it was not having a connection, but I was thinking
I have to see. This one is it has a
observing my body. What do I feel? here. All of a sudden I noticed the person on the back of my
So you had parts on physical. Keep discussing. I don't know.
my friends,
What was the
at least that she's located there.
Trying to think
You may not know you're dreaming sometimes.
lips are different. Now sounds like stations.
There's one here.
Great. How was the exercise? Sharing. Good. Okay. Some of you, as I went around, you said some of you had a repetitive thought, and then some of you mentioned it was different thoughts, and some of you mentioned I was feeling totally relaxed. One of you mentioned that I felt as if there was no one around. Some of you mentioned that I was feeling very relaxed and went into sleep. So yeah, but specifically what I wanted to do from this Upanishad, the Mundaka Upanishad, is witnessing the self. So we have seen in the last week that if you want, you can do it now as well, or when you go home. So when you close your eyes, observe your physical body. You're observing. So you're not your physical body. There is something beyond the physical body, right? Are you with me? You agree? Even if you disagree, that's absolutely fine. Just be interactive. Agree, agree. Agree. Okay. So there is something beyond the physical body, right? Then you go into your mind. There's some thoughts like what you did today, right? So you were thinking, there was thoughts arising. It could be repetitive thought. It can be non-repetitive thought, like different thoughts. Or sometimes you felt relaxed. That is also good. But at one point, you were observing the thoughts. So, you are still not the mind, because you're still observing what is happening in the mind. Yeah? So you're beyond the mind. The mind, when I say, it is the four parts. The four parts of the citta. The aham, the I, the I-ness. The memory that is traversing the past and the future. Even now, when I'm speaking with you, I will guarantee you're not here physically. Your mind is somewhere else. This is a guarantee. You agree with me or don't agree with me. I know this. Because that's the job of the mind. Yeah? Agree? Yes? You're not here. You're thinking, what am I going to do next, or whatever it is. It can be different. But when I'm talking, your mind is not here. The mind is very intelligent. It will trick you. So when you were doing this practice, you are observing the mind. You are observing the thoughts arising in your mind, which means you're beyond the mind. So you're not the body, you're not the mind. And then, when you were observing the thoughts, sometimes you felt happy, like pleasureful, like for example, like I'm just bringing some of the examples. One of you mentioned you were in an island, you had everything, you had a beautiful wife and a family. I'm just bringing example, I don't want to name. So what I mean to say is you were happy sometimes, and then some thoughts came which you may not be happy. Right? So which means the emotions. So there were emotions rising, falling, whatever it is. So you feeling relaxed. That is also emotions. So we have so many chemicals that form like dopamine, many things which makes you happy, which makes you relaxed. Right? So our physical body has so many complex things, like from nerves, bone, we have so many systems, we have chemicals forming. So what I mean to say is, you're not the emotions as well, because you are observing those emotions. So you're beyond the emotions. You're witnessing the self. This is the practice. Of course, you are observing the thoughts, you are labeling the thoughts, but you were witnessing the self. There was something which was witnessing all these things. Right? This is what I want you to realize, that you are beyond the body, you're beyond your breath, you're beyond your mind, you're beyond your emotion. And this is not just in one person, this is not just in Indra, this is not just in Shalini, this is not just in Chili. everyone who takes birth in this universe, I'm not saying world, it could be Mars, I don't know, but of course we know people are in the earth. Everyone is the same. They have something called self, which is observing all these things, right? Why am I saying this is we are all the same. We need to have compassion. If someone does some mistake, intentionally or unintentionally, compassion. They are you. Everyone is the reflection of the self. Just like how I said, the ocean. You just take water, that is you. Say, 1 cup of water is Devi. 1 cup of water is Deirdre. 1 cup of water is Cherry. 1 cup of water is Shalini. 1 cup of water is Payal. 1 cup of water is Indira. 1 cup of water is Srini. 1 cup of water is Kalpana. Right? It all is the same. If someone is doing some mistake, have a compassion. Right? A self-compassion, because everyone is the same. Is the Brahman. This is what I want you to realize today. And this is what you observed. Right? Any questions or any reflections or any emotions on this?
I'm a bit curious about doing the primary breath. We closed our senses.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason? Is it to focus inwards? Like when you close your ears, you close your eyes, you close your nose, and you close your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
To focus inwards.
Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned, this comes from Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So again, whatever I'm saying, I'm not making it up. It's all in the scripture and I'll give you the reference. So this is called the Pratyahara. All our desires, all our cravings that I mentioned, which is the Trishna, comes because of the senses. Right? So if you see the Bhagavad Gita, if you see the Bhagavad Gita from ISKCON or anyone, you will have one picture. You will have 5 horses which Krishna will be riding. Okay? So, as you all know, one picture say a lot than words. So those 5 horses is nothing but your senses. Right? So when you have the control, like how Krishna has the control of all the 5 horses, you can achieve anything and everything. And you will be in your senses. This is what we say, right? Have in your senses. Are you in your senses? So when you take all the senses inwards, you will be able to control it, and the senses is what is creating the desires and the craving, which we'll be looking into it in the later weeks. But for now, Pratyahara is from the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and that will help you by doing the Shanmukhi Mudra. It will help you to reduce the cravings and the what's the other word? What was I saying? The other word, what I was saying, craving and desires. Yeah. So did I answer or? Right? Okay. So we go into the last part, which is the practical tool and the closing. When you were looking at this, did you see any patterns repeating in your mind, if anyone wants to share? So again, this is from the Viveka Chudamani, from the Adi Shankaracharya's book. Is there any pattern that arises in the thoughts in your mind? Like, happy patterns, or sad patterns, or it was something else, like emotion, or like desires, like I want this, I want that kind of thing.
Mine was a bit of a pattern of what do I do now? What should I do now? What will I do?
Okay,
Like
so you saw
next
some
or-
pattern.
Yeah, that was the theme, but it was all these questions that were just going round and round.
Mhm. Okay, so that was about the patterns repeating in your mind, and you were observing. So what is it saying is we notice, we name the pattern, and then we come back. So you were labeling all the patterns, right? So it could be a good thought pattern, not so good thought pattern, and you label it, right? So that's how you observe all the thoughts. How is it arising? And being mindful, and not being reactive, being very conscious in your mind. Okay, so that we come into closing. Does anyone have any question or any reflection from today? Again, these Upanishads is very vast. Trust me, it is very, very huge. We are very complex. Just take physical body. The doctors study for 5 years the anatomy and so many things. The psychotherapists, they study a lot about our mind. It's very complex. And what I'm giving the knowledge is very, very complex, but I'm trying to make it very simple and very practical. Okay, so we will look into more of this in the coming session. So if you're ready, we're going to have your foot flat on the floor. We're going to go into a closing session. I'm going to so we're going to sit down. Sorry, sit on a chair. If you're in a sukhasana with your cross leg, if you're on the chair, having your foot flat on the floor, having your both hands on top of your thigh with palm facing the ceiling, and take a deep breath in, and breathe out completely. We're going to chant a mantra to sail together, to be harmonious together, to grow together. If you're happy, if you know the mantra, you can chant. Otherwise, you can listen to the chant, having your chin parallel to the ground, shoulder parallel to the ground. Taking one deep breath in and breathe out or sigh out through your mouth. Om Sahana Bhavattu Sahana Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let there be peace within you. Let there be peace all around you. Let there be peace all around the world. If you're happy, we're going to chant one Om. Let's take a deep breath in. Breathe out normally. For Om, take a deep breath in. Body, right from the tip of your toes to the crown of your head, observing the thoughts in your mind and recollecting whatever we practiced today, specifically the chitta, the aham, antakarana, the manas, the mind, the buddhi, the intellect, the chitta, the memory, the ahankara, the ego. Very gently taking attention to your breath, the breath which is totally in the present moment, and taking your attention to the tip of your nostril. Observe the breath going in and out of your nostril. And repeating in your mind, I am safe, may I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be taken care of. Gently bringing attention back to your body, either by wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, and gently rubbing your palms, placing it on top of your eyes. And gently get your both hands in front of you, just like an open book. And opening your eyes and observing as if you're looking at the reflection of yourself. Thank you for joining this evening's session. Any questions or any reflection, feel free to share. Otherwise, thank you for joining. Yeah. Anything?
So if I go looking upon the ripple of my face, will I see myself?
You will have to wait 32 years now.